You see, as a man, as a masculine man, there's only one thing that I've found out that can truly give you happiness. A year ago, I was so stuck in life. I literally had no goals, no future vision for myself, no goals of improving. I literally had no ambition or idea on what I wanted to achieve. I was just like anyone else, scrolling on Instagram for hours on end, sitting around doing nothing productive. And coincidentally, almost, I was also at the unhappiest phase of my life. I was mentally like really struggling. I felt stuck. I think that's the best word. And then I started self improvement. And I made immense progress in my life in as little as 2 weeks. And I kid you not, in 2 weeks, I went from being pretty much depressed to genuinely happy. And I know that people, a lot of people will not agree with that. How can you have, so you've been so upset for so long, you have depression, how can you solve it in 2 weeks? But you really can. You really can. And that's what I'm getting to right now. I went from being in the dumps, I was depressed, and I got happy. I felt happy within 2 weeks. You want to know how? I started making progress. And again, going back to the first point I mentioned, for a masculine man, the only thing I believe that can genuinely believe give you happiness, like long-term happiness. I'm not talking about the happiness where you get a new shirt or whatever. Like genuinely long-term consistent happiness is making progress in life. Is just leveling up every day, getting better a bit. That's what's gonna give you progress. That's what's gonna give you happiness. Every time I've been inconsistent with my diet, or when I'm doing YouTube and my video doesn't get as many views, or I've gone a few short videos without getting a few thousand views, or I'm not getting as many subscribers, it really starts to mess with my head. Even though I'm like fine, I'm working hard, everything. At the back of my mind, I almost feel unsettled. I feel my life is incomplete, unfulfilled when I'm not leveling up. I kid you not. I know this is probably not a good mindset to have, but when I the bench press. If you guys work out, you know what's a bench press. And let's say I hit freaking 110 pounds or whatever for 13 reps, and the next week I go to 14. But the week after, I'm only able to get 11 or 12. That stays at the back of my mind. I'm like, what the heck did I do wrong? Did I not sleep right? Did I not eat right? Did I not warm up enough? I feel unfulfilled, and that's just an example. Why do you think so many young men are addicted to video games? Because they can't progress in the real life. You've seen it in freaking Fortnite, Call of Duty. I don't play this stuff. But I remember, I used to play the Call of Duty a little bit. We've all played games a little bit. There's always levels to it. Okay, so you get this X amount of kills and you move to level 2. You beat this and then you get a new suit, a new gun, whatever. That's why these kids play these video games. That's the complete truth. Men want to move to a better level in life, but their real life is so freaking crap. So they can't help but, only use video games as a method to progress and give them any source of satisfaction. And obviously, we all know that in the long term, that's not going to be too beneficial. Video games are probably going to ruin your life. If you're not happy with yourself, genuinely just sit and ask yourself, pause this video and ask yourself, have you made any significant progress in anything, either that be school, working out, your physique, your business, whatever? Have you made any significant progress in the past few months? Or have you been, slacking off? You're not been hitting the gym, you're giving yourself excuses. Every Thursday, you're like, oh, let me just, have a cheat meal now and then I'll start my diet next week. When you find your purpose as a man, when you discover that feeling of your mission, what God has put you on this planet to achieve, and you work relentlessly towards it, I kid you not, that will give you the most joy in life. Yeah, working will give you a joy of life. That's why it's so important to find the work that you love. All these people, they're working 9 to 5, and obviously, they probably haven't heard of this advice, and you can't blame them. But they're not happy, obviously, because that's not what their purpose. They're not been put on God to sit on the computer for 9 hours a day, 10 hours a day. That's not what they're meant for. But if you find your purpose as a man, the work that you truly are meant to complete and finish, and you will work towards it no matter what, that will give you joy.